Welcome back to the second episode of this manhwa. Please enjoy. Then she tells our proto while hugging him that what is he doing here? With the annoyed face, he remembers that his skank ex and this bitch Cui Jing scammed him out of his fortune in his previous life. Then Cui Jing, with a cheerful smile, tells him if he's there to buy a land, and she mentions that the place has an amazing view, and if he's planning to build a villa in this land. Then our proto, like the Giga Chad, he has slapped Cui Jing's arm away from his. He told her that it doesn't matter what he builds here is none of her damn business. Then the bitch was annoyed and thinks this trash is acting weird today, and she claims that when she touches our prota's hand, he would start simping for her, and she even went the extra mile to seduce him, and it didn't work. Then our prota ignores the skank and turns his attention to the worker because he was not doing it right, and our boy is giving him instruction to expand it. Then she tried to call him, but he ignored her like she doesn't exist. But this gold-digging skank was in deep thought to herself, saying that she cannot miss this opportunity. Since Jing has dumped our boy, now she will outshine Cui Jing with her gold-digging powers and try to take the land from our prota. This skank is something else. Then we see our protagonist thinking about how to get more money, because by selling his house to the bank will only give him around 3 million yuan, which will not be enough to cover the construction cost. Then he remembers that none of that will matter, cause the apocalypse is nearing. All of a sudden, he hears a loud knocking on his door, and an angry old geezer is calling our boy. Then our boy remembers that geezer bought the first floor and the second floor as well, and he even wants to buy our prota's house. But originally our prota intended to use the house as his marriage house. He refused to sell it to that old hag. So the bastard kept giving our boy hard time, so he would sell it to that greedy old geezer. The geezer yells to our boy, saying he was out all night clubbing. Then our boy said that he went to bed early and he wasn't clubbing. The geezer is insisting that he heard him. Then our prota had enough of that old disgusting hag and says he's just eyeing his house. He had enough of that old bastard and he will sell it to that geezer. Then the old man got too excited, but our boy stops him and tells him he has a condition before selling it. The geezer asked what condition. Our boy explains that he won't hand over the house until 6 months later, cause he will live in here for another 6 months, but before that he will need to transfer 5 million yuan to him in one go so that he can make a down payment for the construction company. And he mentioned if he doesn't agree, then he can kiss this deal goodbye. When our prota is about to slam the door to that greedy old bastard, he accepts our boy's condition. But the old hag tells Xiao Young he need to sign a contract to prevent our boy from backing out. Jing Xiao Young agrees. Jing Xiao Young thinks that old bastard can die in his house. Then our prota is calculating the money. He will be receiving the 5 million from the old hag plus the 3 million yuan from the bank. He will have 8 million yuan. Then the system notifies our boy that owning a piece of a land has been completed and he could claim it. Then the scene shifts. Xiao Young in the supermarket shopping like the end of the world is coming. People around him are saying if he has mental illness. The girl is saying that they need to stay away from that unstable guy. After that, we see our boy with 8 full shopping cart filled with goods. The girl then asks her friend why is our boy buying many things. Her friend responds that he is another idiot that believes in the doomsday rumors and laughs. Then we see the system inform our boy that he has earned 10 points. Our prota is thinking that enhancing attributes is important, but this protagonist supply box is exactly 10 points. Then he didn't hesitate and grabs the first opportunity and claims the protagonist supply box. Then we see that his current point is 0, and he received the space ring level 1 that contains 500 meters of space. And time stands still inside of the space. Our boy was happy and said that the first draw is always golden. Xiao Young is looking at the ring, saying if time stops inside the ring, that means even if he stores fresh goods inside, they would never rot. The system shows new missions. He needs to gather 10 years of supply, and the reward is 20 points. Then we see an ugly gorilla yelling, who is causing trouble. Then when he asked our protagonist if he is Zhang Yang, our boy was shocked and said if he was Yang Tao. Then he remembered that Yang Tao was his high school classmate. There was a lackey. Following the school bully Zhang Xingzhe, he was the bastard that bullies the weak and fears the strong like a typical thug. And he was surprised running into that ugly gorilla. Then Tao Yang yells at our boy, saying what the hell is he doing filling up all these carts to the brim with all these goods, and he orders him to return it all, or otherwise there will be a problem. Xiao Yang replies to the gorilla saying that he still didn't change, and still bullying the weak, and informed the ape that he is there to buy it all, and says is this how he treats his customers. The gorilla declare our boy to buy all of it right now, or else he will be rough with him. Then 1 hour has passed. We see all the cashiers checking out Xiao Yang's good. The gorilla asked the woman how much all of it is. She said the total amount, at 56,883 yuan. And the mad gorilla turns to Zhang Yang with a card machine and demanding him to scan his card right away. Our boy, with no hesitation and with style, swiped his card, and the transaction was successful. The ape was furious because he got embarrassed when JSNG Yang payment was a success. He was hoping for it to fail. He turned around with his lackey to leave, but then Xiao Yang told him to hold it. The ape turned around angrily said what? Xiao Yang said that gorilla bastard was very disrespectful towards him, and if he doesn't apologize, he will return all the goods he just bought. The ape started yelling and telling Xiao Yang that he is going too far, and if he is looking for an ass beating. The audacity of this ape. Then a customer said that he will leave as well if the ape doesn't apologize to our protagonist. Another customer pulled out his smartphone and said if this ape doesn't do tricks and apologize, he will make this gorilla famous in the internet. Xiao Yang tells the ape to apologize, and if it is sincere enough, he will buy 10 times what he bought. The ape was not believing him. Zhang Yang told the ape to bring him the card reader, and he will show this gorilla his bank account balance. Zhang Yang scans the card. The ape was in disbelief that Zhang Yang has 700,000 yuan in his bank. Zhang Yang said to apologize and said he will keep buying from the store. The ape was feeling pressured. The ape accepts defeat and bowed his head like a good dog and said a light "I'm sorry." Then Zhang Yang walks close to him and hold the back of the ape's head, telling the ape to remember not to be reckless in the future and leave some room. Then Zhang Yang was leaving. The ape changed his attitude with a smile asking, "Our boy, why is he buying so many for?" Our boy told the ape it's none of his damn business. The ape tells him that the stuff in the supermarket won't be enough. He suggests him to find a wholesaler. Then Zhang asked since the ape is working in a supermarket, then he knows some wholesaler. And the ape said that Zhang Xingzhe is in the wholesale business now. Then the ape calls his boss telling Zhang that he found their biggest client. Then the ape brought our protagonist in the warehouse to see the goods. Then a black Benz was zooming towards them in high speed, almost ending the life of the ape. Zhang was thinking, damn, driving so arrogantly must have never been scammed before. Zhang Xingzhe got out of his car. Then Zhang the walking chimney asked the ape if that's Yang Tao he mentioned over the phone. The ape excitedly told Zhang that is a Zhang Xiaoyang. The ape mentioned that they were high school classmates. Then the walking chimney, with the cancer stick in his mouth, said that remembers him now. And our protagonist is looking at the walking chimney with an annoyed expression. Zhang told our boy that is the guys that the ape was bragging about, and he got a bit of a backbone now. Zhang approached our protagonist, calling him out, saying he is pretending to be rich while he actually broke based on the clothes he's wearing. And our boy replied to that tall chimney that he is not fond of branded clothes, he only picked it up from a street stall. Then Zhang turned to Tao and smacked his head, saying that, is this the big shot you were bragging about over the phone? Then the chimney kicked Tao, and Tao said to Zhang that he is the real deal. Zhang wasn't convinced and told Tao that he has been in the business for years and he can tell who is rich and who is not by a glance. Then our boy talks back and says that he is really lacking in his aura, and said that he can't even intimidate an illiterate who looks down on people. The orangutan got mad and told Zhang Yang to repeat what he just said. Xiao Yang repeated what he said. He can't even intimidate an illiterate monkey. Zhang then said, how dare he call him an illiterate? By adding fuel to the fire, Zhang Yang said, calling you a snob is okay, right? When it's about to get messy, Tao intervened, called out to Zhang to not hit our protagonist, and told Zhang Yang to not call him illiterate because he doesn't like being called illiterate. Zhang kicks the trash can while yelling at Tao, telling him, screw you, if you can't talk properly, then you should shut your mouth. The chimney with a cancer stick in his mouth threatens our protagonist, says that if he cannot buy a carload of goods from him today, he'll be walking home in all four. Zhang Yang is annoyed and told that trash to pull out his account number so he can send the money. After that, we can see that the monkey was surprised because Zhang just sent this ugly trash 1 million yuan. Zhang then asked him what kind of goods does he want. Zhang Yang said he needs rice, oil, salt, anything edible or drinkable. Then the ugly trash told him to come with him to the warehouse, thinking to himself that he shouldn't feel so lucky as the goods that he will give him is all nearing expiration date. Zhang sees all the goods in front of him, and the orangutan offers him if he take this batch of goods, he will give him a 10% discount on the original wholesale price. Zhang was not convinced, saying that it all depends on the quality of the goods. Our protagonist checks the goods. He called out to that ape, saying that most of the outermost layer is in good quality, but inside it's all near expired food. Zhang was shocked that our boy knows his stuff, and he got caught red-handed. He proceeds and says that if he takes all the near expired food, he will give him 50% discount. Zhang said no need because his 5 million yuan is for buying the best quality of goods. Zhang added, as for the near expired food, he got other plans for it. Zhang asked what plans. Zhang Yang said, as you said, 50% off, he will take all his near expired food, but the payment will be settled a month later. Then Zhang was asking what happens when the goods, if they got expired by then. Zhang Yang told him to not worry, as he will mortgage his house to Zhang. Zhang asks that he knows the food is near expiration and he still wants them. Why? Zhang explained that the near expired food will be worth a fortune in a few coming days. Zhang was shocked, asking him, what does he mean by that? Zhang told him to not ask him about it, and just deliver the goods and the address he will send him later. Zhang receives a call. Zhang picks up the call. The guy on the phone asked if he is Zhang. Zhang replied, who's asking? The guy then asks if he is the one selling the house. Zhang then points to Zhang that he has other things to do, and he should get the goods sorted out for delivery. Tao then asks Zhang if he ever set him up. Zhang was shocked that his family is average people, so how did Zhang manage it so well? After that, we see the old man handing Zhang the money for the house. The old man said that he can accept Zhang's condition of vacating the house in 3 months, and they should sign the contract right away. Zhang then asked the old man why is he in such a hurry. Old man said that he has a granddaughter and in need of a house because his granddaughter will be transferring schools. He has been searching for a house for months now, so he needs the house urgently. Zhang then told him that he is being too honest right now, and he is not afraid that he will raise the price because of his circumstances. The old man was in shock and begging Zhang not to raise it because he saved up for 2 generations and he wants this house for his family. Zhang then told the old man to not worry and he want back out of it. Then Zhang signed the contract. The old man was relieved and happy looking at the signed contract in his hands. The old man bowed down and thanked Zhang. Zhang was worried that the old man and his family won't be surviving the apocalypse. Zhang called out the old man to wait. The old man asked, what is it? Zhang asked him for his current address. Then the scene shifted to the construction site where Li is greeting out Boy. Li asked Zhang about the second payment. Zhang told Li that it will be transferred shortly and asked Li about the progress. Li said about 70 to 80% has been completed and point out that the door in the wall is highly secured as he requested. Zhang asked about the warehouse. Li said the warehouse is already done and cleaned up and ready. Zhang then called Zhang to deliver the good at his current location. After a couple hours, we see people stacking up and organizing the goods in their proper place. One guy said that the place is turning like a bunker. Then Zhang orders the worker to not mix the items with the food and should separate them. After a long day of work, we see them finished up and going home. Zhang was standing proudly as he was very satisfied with the progress. The system then notified Zhang that 10 years of supplies has been completed and the system rewards Zhang 20 points. Then a new box has been updated in the system store. The system store has 3 items. The first item is Physical Enhancement Potion for 20 points. The second item is Apocalypse Farmer Supply Box Level 1 for 2 points. The third item is Ability Awakening Supply Box Level 1 for 10 points. Zhang then purchased the Ability Awakening Box, contains Mind's Eye Level 1. The skill of the item can detect if someone harbors hostility. Zhang was satisfied with the item. Zhang said that with this ability is the most useful one in the early days of the apocalypse. Then the system notifies Zhang with a new task. He needs to arm himself, and the reward for this task is 10 points plus random rewards upon completion. Zhang was hyped up to beat this new challenge. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I really enjoyed the story of this manhwa. If you guys enjoy this series as much as I do, please hit the subscribe button and drop a like.